Hello, everybody, and welcome to another 2021 Lamley Awards Showcase and poll. You're going to watch this video. We're going to go through Hot Wheels Basics, licensed new models released in the basic range in 2021. You're going to watch, I'm going to show you all of the castings released. We're not going to focus on recolors, but they're all there for you. We're going to focus on each one of these castings released in the basic range. Then go down below to the comments section, either the video description or in the comments. There will be a link to lamleygroup.com. There will also be a link to the polls. You can go and the polls are on lamleygroup.com, or you can go directly. There's photos of all these cars. You want to check them out, and you're going to want to vote on the models that you think are the best. You can pick two, just like we did with Premium, and the one model that you think was the most disappointing. I always like to define most disappointing. Don't just go with the car you hate the most. Go with the one that you were most excited about but didn't live up to it. It just didn't live up to the hype. That's what I mean when it comes to most disappointing. So go ahead and put those votes in, but let's get right to it. These are, I'm going to show you an order of release. So we're going way back to, would have been October 2020 when the first mix of 2021 was released. There's usually 2 or 3 new models released. There's actually more than that, but I'd say typically 2 to 3 new castings released. In each mix. There's 15 mixes a year, and this is the Jag F-Type that was released in Mix A. I'm not gonna remember all of the mixes that these released. This one was released in blue. It was recolored in kind of a gray color, kind of a gunmetal gray. I'm not going to be showing the recolors. You might see them in the background in some of these shots, but you know, the recolors are released later in the year. But sometimes it's, well, I'll get to that here. But this is the Jaguar F-Type. I think this might have been part of a promotion with Jaguar. I can't remember. I feel like it was SEMA or something that they did something associated with the track. Just real quick so I can show you, like you can see, and I'm trying to do a wide shot so you can see, there's a lot of recolors here. Some of them are, you know, a little different. You get some store exclusives like Zamex with the Porsche. There's some Target exclusives. I think Kroger might be $1 general exclusive, and then there's going to be some GameStop exclusives with some of these later models, but they're not out until I think January 1st is when that event happens, and so I'm not showing those at all. But you're judging the casting anyway, so the colors and decos don't really matter. I want you to really judge the casting. Next one, this one we're gonna be going through. I'm gonna try and recognize which ones of these, and I'm not gonna remember all of them, but we're Ryu Asada designs. Ryu did a lot of designs for 2021. He'll have a few for 2022. He passed away, I think, back in March, and still just a shocker. But his legacy is definitely here among these basic models that he's designed. This is one of them. It is the the Dodge Van. It's just called the Dodge Van, but we know this is the Dajibon. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but as the drift Dodge van made famous, the style of drifting van made famous in Japan. It's got actually, molded into the interior is the old Hot Wheels go-kart, also designed by Ryu. 3 colors of this one, white, black, and then Kroger exclusive red. It is the Lancia Delta Integrale. Really cool rally car that I think excited a lot of people to see this one done. This might be the one that you think is best, might be the one that you think is most disappointing. I won't keep hinting at each one. You guys can vote however you want to vote. But the Lancia was an interesting one. We saw a Lancia in Premium as well, right? So the Delta Integrale was a cool one, released this year in 3 colors. Next one, we go Porsche. We go Magnus Walker. We'll see this one in other decos, of course. In fact, I think we saw this as a toy fair, this deco. Anyway, this is the Porsche 935, done in a Magnus Walker deco. We've seen this done before in the standard trim, red hood, red numbers on the side, the 277 Urban Outlaw on the roof. Then it was reversed, the colors and the wheels, different color. And then they did a cool Zamak version, so it's actually just a raw version of this this red version that we saw as a Walmart Zamak. So that's the Porsche 935. I expect that one will have a pretty rich future moving forward. Next one. Bit of a passion project for Brendan Vituski. He owns this car. It is the Pontiac GTO. I wonder if there's a year associated. Yeah, 06 Pontiac GTO. His isn't in a drag style. He just went ahead and made this one a drag style. Something different, something cool. Kind of cool that I think this is the color of his car, this kind of rust color, and then it was recolored in blue. But this is the one that he did. the Pontiac GTO drag car. Next one. Seen a lot of Ford Broncos. We've seen a premium one. We've seen a Matchbox one. This is the Hot Wheels Basic Ford Bronco. Official name 21 Ford Bronco. In blue, recolored in orange, lifted. Right, this one's a little bit more lifted than the I think than the stock Bronco, but they just Hot Wheels, so of course they're going to do a lifted one. In this blue, you can see the grill has been detailed. I think that's it for the front, and then the sides. I don't know why it just has to say Bronco there on the side, but you know, side profile is important because it's what you see in the blister. Next one, another one we've seen a couple of brands do. It is the Corvette C8R. Official name Corvette C8R. That's it. The racing Corvette. They did the standard C8. Matchbox did it right, and then they did the standard C8 in ID, and then we're going to see that casting move to basic next year. I think it's supposed to be a Super Treasure Hunt as well, but this is the racing car. This one, 3 colors. It was recolored in gray and basic, but there's also in between those, there was a Target red edition, obviously in red. That is the Corvette C8R, moving from a modern classic or a modern racing car to a classic racing car. Another, I know this is a Ryu Asada design. I remember he teased this one when we did an interview with him on Instagram a couple years ago that he was working on this one. It is the Ford GT 40 Mark IV, I believe, 1967 Ford GT. 2 colors in this one, red and in yellow. I think we're seeing this in 2022 as well, but very much classic, that just 1960s racing. You know, we're seeing a bunch of the Ford GTs being done. They've done a couple of classics now, and this one is very, very nice. Very cool to see those two done. Ryu Asada. I think Ryu did this one too. Another classic. This is the Nissan in blue, right? I think the only one ever done was in blue. Nissan R390 GT1. Am I correct in saying that this car was done as like a street version so that it could be a racing version or something like that? And there's only one in existence? Maybe there's more than one. But recolored in red, and here's the blue version. We might see some racing versions of this classic Nissan. Then one of these cars that I think maybe not many of us were too familiar with here, at least in the United States, and now we are, thanks to Hot Wheels. All right, we go Mercedes-Benz. Classic Mercedes-Benz in black. I think it really fits into the Mercedes family that's been growing immensely. It's the Mercedes-Benz 500e. Don't know if this is a Rio design. Nonetheless, it's fantastic. There's an opinion. Try not to share opinions, but I do it anyway. This one in black, looking very nice. Recolored in silver. Just let that one go on the turntable so you can take it in, because I'm sure this one is going to get a lot of votes, as will this one. This one I know is a Rio design. He did this family of Audi wagons, right? And he, dating back to his time at Matchbox, he did the RS6 Avant. Was it the 2004 RS6 Avant with Matchbox? And then he's followed up. He did follow up with this one. It is the 94 Audi Avant RS2. I've mentioned this is a car that I saw in Brazil when I lived there and just fell in love with it. And it's really neat to see it as a Hot Wheels. I would never have expected it to be a Hot Wheels. As you can see, I'm probably a fan of this one. One I am definitely considering voting for. Moving over to the Toyota Supra, we've seen this casting. Actually was upgraded to premium very quickly for Slide Street and Modern Classics. But this one was based on the Greddy Toyota Supra. What is the official name? 2020 Toyota GR Supra. It's got a kit very similar to a Pandem kit. But this one was done. It's replicated. It's been replicated as the car that was shown at SEMA at the Greddy booth. And I think I've told the story. I was actually there with Jimmy Lewin. Remember him talking to Kenji at Greddy about doing this one. Recolored in yellow as well. And then I think it will be a GameStop exclusive in black. Another Rio. Anytime there's a Honda, you could always expect that Rio was going to be the one that did it. This particular Honda, very cool classic Honda. It's the Custom 70 Honda. What is it? The N600, I believe. I always want to get it right, and it's hard to read on the chrome. This one done in this kind of light, very Honda-esque yellow. Very small. You think about this one and the Toyota Starlet. Both were done with small rims, so they could be done really small. It's like I want to see Hot Wheels retackle the Mini Cooper and do it in this size. Be a nice little trio to have the Starlet, this one. Can you imagine these as a car culture mix? The tiny little hatches. Oh man, now I'm never even thinking about that. You could do this Honda, you could do the Toyota Starlet, you could redo the Mini. That could be the new casting, and then just find a couple of other small ones. I'm sure we could do it. That would be an awesome mix. Recolored in this, I'm just pulling it out because I really like the color. This teal color with the black rims. But we're not focusing on that. We're just focusing on the casting. All right. Porsche Taycan. Never say it right. Didn't say it right in the Mini GT video. I won't say it right in this one. This one, okay, I'm actually going to break the rules a little bit. This is technically not a new model. This is actually considered a new model among the Hot Wheels ID line. This casting was made for ID. I don't know if we're ever going to see it, but in ID, but this was also an ID chase. So it's the only model, the first and I think only model that is released as a new model in the main line in the basic range and also as an ID chase. Now this, if the timing were different, if COVID didn't happen and all this distribution stuff wasn't so messed up, maybe we see the ID released first, but this ended up being a new model, so I included it. That was the basic version, and then I'll just show you real quickly. There was the ID Chase. Looks pretty similar, but it's in more Spectraflame red and obviously has the chip on the bottom. That is the ID Chase. All right. Maybe that's the new model you'll vote for. Land Cruiser Pickup. I know this is a DEMA model. Anytime there's a Land Cruiser or a Land Rover, you know that's going to be DEMA, just like the Hondas with Ryu. Toyota Land Cruiser, that's all it says. It doesn't say pickup or anything. It's just called the Toyota Land Cruiser in blue, this classic blue with the white roof. A little bit lifted, a little bit Hot Wheelsed out, but nice to see the Land Cruiser done. We're just getting a lot of Toyotas all of a sudden, right? We'll get another one a little bit later in this video. But this one, yeah, you might like the Land Cruiser. A lot of fans. And there was a recolor, another one that was recolored in Target. I just show it to you real quick, just because I like the recolor with the red rims. This was actually a red edition. The only red you got was on the rims. Oh, and on the back. I really like that they put the Toyota on the back of that one. All right, moving over, out of shot, but this one I know is very, very popular. It is the Liberty Walk GTR, officially called LB Silhouette Works GT Nissan 35 GTR version 2. That's the only time I'm going to say it because that is a long, long name. This one, interestingly enough, casting is really nice. I don't know who did it, but I wonder just in terms of licensing with Liberty Walk, they asked for this whole thing to be done. So you've got the front grille done, you've got the sides done, you've got the spoiler with a little bit of detailing with the LBWK on the spoiler, and then you have the rear detailing done on this one, which is interesting to see. This typically doesn't happen. I wonder if it was just an agreement with Liberty Walk to do that. No complaints, obviously. In blue and then recolored in red, just recently released, right? Okay, now I think all of those got recolors, right? And now we're getting to the many that just didn't because they're released towards the end of the year. This is the Nissan Leaf, right? Nissan Leaf Nismo RCO2. So the Nismo Leaf, this one, does it Matchbox did Leaf? Oh, it was the Volt that Hot Wheels did, right? And now they've done the Leaf in this version as the Nismo Leaf, and I think we're seeing that one already in 2022. This one was very popular. Surprised not to see recolor, but it is a super treasure hunt in 2022, so no one's complaining. But always cool to see a white Civic. Guess who designed it, right? I think you know. 99 Honda Civic Type R, the EK9 is the name of this one. Cool to see it. It really fits its era in white with white rims. Gets the front detailing, the back detailing, red interior. Nicely done. Maybe that's the one that you like. Another one that's kind of a cool new one to see is this one. It's the Lamborghini Huracan, but it's Mad Mike's Huracan. What are they calling this one? Lamborghini Huracan. Oh, LB Works Lamborghini Huracan Coupe. So the next LB Works, we got more coming of the Liberty Walk style. So this one has the kit on it. You know, it's a little bit of enhanced. We've seen Mini GT's done this one too. But this one's done in Mad Mike style. And it's actually based on his car. That's why there's the mismatched wheels, everything else. Does he drift this car? I think he does. But really cool to see that one. Next one, one that I think was very interesting. We all knew was coming, and it finally came. It's cool to see. There's a Hot Wheels ID version of the Cybertruck. Hot Wheels and Tesla really, I would say Mattel and Tesla are just going to town. I think Matchbox is releasing 3 or 4 Teslas next year. Got the RC stuff, the Hot Wheels ID, and then this basic Cybertruck. Kind of a no-brainer, right? Just the silhouette is cool. You can do it in Zamac. Obviously do that raw version of the Cybertruck. Looks good. All right, another one that surprised this year. Maybe one that surprised you enough that you might vote for it as your best. One of the 2 best that you can vote for. This is the Bugatti EB110 SS. 1994 Bugatti EB110 SS. Kind of predates the Veyron and the Chiron, and but kind of leapt. You know, it's a legendary car now. Kind of let Bugatti into the hypercar realm. This is a rare car. It's a cool replica. This is also a Ryu Asada design. Nice and clean. So 90s. So 90s. I want to put this one. I hope it goes premium at some point. But even this one I just put next to the Vector that was released just once in Boulevard. Right. All right. Mentioned there was another Toyota Dima. Another Dima casting. A lifted Toyota Land Cruiser. Official name of this one, Toyota Land Cruiser 80. No year on this one, but more current. Nice to see. I mean, 4Runner in premium, the other Land Cruiser in premium, and this one in basic. That's quite the fam. You could do a Land Cruiser mix very easily. Nonetheless, you've already got a mix. Put those 3 together, and you got I shouldn't say Land Cruiser, just a Toyota off-road mix. Okay, another one kind of cool to the era is the McLaren. I mean, just another one that just surprised once we saw that it was coming out. It's the McLaren F1. We've seen this one as the GTR version that was released in Speed Machines. Several versions, I think, and we've seen it released in Basic now a couple times. But this one done in the stock version of the highly collectible, worth millions, F1. It's got the seat in the center, which was unique to this car. I don't know who did this one, but it's so well done, this casting. And maybe that one, I mean, between that and the Bugatti, it's kind of hard to pick, right? But I guess you could pick both. But I don't know. Oh my gosh. Do you see how hard it is? You see how hard it's going to do? All right. Finally, in the last mix of 2021, there were 2 new licensed castings. One was an interesting one. We're seeing these Aston Martin kind of conceptual vehicles. This is the Aston Martin V12 Speedster. No windshield, kind of separated seats. Unique car. Kind of fun probably to do as a Hot Wheels. You can see they did it to where it kind of bridges over in between the seats. You can actually see right through it. I don't know. You can't really see on the turntable. But that's one. You had so that Aston Martin, I don't know if it's an actual production vehicle or a concept. The actual car is weird looking, but it's a cool replica. And the last one, very much also a Dima design. When you see it again, it's just, you just know the Land Rover, the Defender 90 that he did a couple of years ago, and you just kind of know it when you see it. This was a no-brainer that this came out of Dima's brain. This is the Range Rover Classic is the name of this one. Obviously done in a Dakar racing style. Obviously the windows filled in the back. Really kind of a cool casting, very playful. This kind of off-road style. He did the 914 off-road, that kind of stuff. You just know that's Dima. He's got a Land Rover 90 in his garage that he works on too, so kind of cool. But there you go. We walked through it in just under 20 minutes. That's pretty good. You guys go ahead. You want to watch this video again, speed it up. Go to 2 times as quick so you can hear what my voice sounds like that way. Go through these again. Or just go look at the pictures, judge the casting, pick the 2 that you think are the best, and the one that you think is the most disappointing, the one that bummed you out the most. Fair enough? Go do it. We will share all these results of all these polls and tournaments and everything we've been doing in the Lamley Awards a little bit later towards right at the end of the year. Should be fun. Thanks, everybody. Bye.